did that wrong.
Will you all raise your right hand?
Levanten la mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear and affirm that the information you're about to give is the truth to the best of your ability?
Juran y afirman que la información que están a punto de dar es la verdad a su mejor capacidad.
If you affirm, you can lower your hand. If there's anyone that objects to that, please keep your hand raised. Deputies, let me know if there's anyone in the
Sí.
back that either raised or didn't understand.
Si afirman, pueden bajar la mano. Si están en desacuerdo, mantengan la mano alzado.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Esta es la comparecencia inicial en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
We are not here to try your case or take a plea today.
No estamos aquí para enjuiciarlos, tampoco para aceptar ninguna declaración a cargos hoy.
We are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you,
Estamos aquí para que yo le informe de las acusaciones en su contra,
advise you of certain rights,
para que le informe de ciertos derechos,
set bail on those offenses for which this court is authorized to set bail,
imponerle fianza para las acusaciones de las cuales tengo la autorización de imponerle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
también para programar su audiencia preliminar
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y para determinar si requiere la ayuda de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing,
Tienen el derecho de permanecer callados sin decir nada.
but should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
Pero si deciden renunciar a ese derecho, cualquier cosa que diga durante esta diligencia judicial se puede tomar en su contra en cualquier diligencia futura.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Durante esta diligencia y cualquier otra, tiene derecho a la presunción de inocencia hasta el Estado pruebe su culpabilidad fuera de una duda razonable.
You have the right to indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
Tiene derecho a ser acusado formalmente por el gran jurado cuando se trata de delitos mayores o por acusación general cuando se trata de delitos menores.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tiene derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses that are called to testify against you.
Tiene derecho a ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf by subpoena.
Tiene también el derecho de obligar la presencia de los testigos a su favor por medio de citatorio judicial.
You have the right to testify and offer evidence on your own behalf.
Tiene
Should
derecho
you
a dar.
choose to do so, sorry.
Es okay. Tiene el derecho de presentar testimonio en su propia defensa si eligen hacerlo.
But should you choose not to, no presumption of your guilt may be raised.
Pero si decide no hacerlo, no puede asumir culpabilidad en su contra.
You also have the right to have an attorney represent you at all stages in your case.
También tiene derecho a un abogado que le represente en toda etapa de su proceso judicial.
At this time, if you are not already represented by private counsel, we will appoint a court-appointed attorney to assist you.
En este momento, si todavía no ha conseguido un abogado privado para representarlo, nombraremos un abogado de oficio para representarlos.
If you would like to and can afford to have a private attorney assist you, they need only file an entry of appearance with the court. And then once they do so, the court-appointed attorney will no longer assist you with your case.
Si prefiere que un abogado privado lleve su caso, el abogado privado solamente tiene que registrar en el tribunal como su representante legal y el abogado de oficio se retirará del caso.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bond for your release from jail pending the prosecution of your case.
Algunos de ustedes pueden depositar fianza sin restricciones mientras siga pendiente su caso.
This may be cash, commercial, or property.
Esa fianza se puede depositar en efectivo a través de una compañía comercial de fianzas o utilizando un inmueble de propiedad.
If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond plus surcharges to the sheriff's office, who will hold on to that money until your case is disposed of. Once your case is disposed of, the money will be returned to the person that posted the bond.
Si deposita una fianza en efectivo, la oficina del sheriff guardará el dinero hasta que el caso se concluya. Y una vez que este caso se concluya, la persona que depositó la fianza puede recuperarla.
If you use a commercial bonding company approved by the sheriff's office, you will pay someone or pay the bonding company up to 15% of your bond amount for their fees, and those funds will not be returned to you.
Si utiliza una compañía comercial de fianzas, pagará a la compañía cierta tarifa que suele ser alrededor de un 15% de lo que es la fianza total. Esa tarifa no se le devuelve a la persona que lo pagó. Ellos se quedan con esa tarifa como la tarifa de servicio.
If you post a property bond, you will have to have a net equity in the property in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of your bond.
Si va a tramitar su fianza usando un inmueble, entonces tiene que tener una propiedad con un patrimonio total de 3 veces lo que es el valor de la fianza para que el inmueble sea válido.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going around certain places.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán condiciones especiales de fianza, las cuales prohíbe que tenga contacto con ciertas personas o que vaya a ciertos lugares.
I will give you this information during the hearing today.
Les
This
daré,
special- oh, sorry. Go ahead.
les daré esa información durante la audiencia hoy.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the alleged victim while you are in jail.
También se le prohíbe contactar a la presunta víctima mientras está detenido en la cárcel.
Should you violate the court's order, your bond may be revoked and you may not be entitled to another bond while you await trial.
Si usted llega a incumplir esa orden judicial, su fianza quedará revocada y posiblemente no tendrá derecho a otra fianza mientras está esperando la conclusión de su caso.
An additional charge of aggravated stalking, influencing witnesses, or applicable charges may also be added, for which a sentence is of up to 20 years or a fine in the amount, 10 years, and if imprisonment and a fine of up to $20,000. Let me know if you need me to say that again.
I think I have it, Your Honor.
Okay.
Se le puede formular cargos adicionales por haber incumplido las normas de la fianza de de acecho con agravantes o de influenciar testigos que lleva una o otras acusaciones pertinentes, que lleva una pena de reclusión de 10 años o una multa de $20,000.
All right, for family members who will assist you in posting bond, if they are also listed on the warrant as an alleged victim, they may not assist you, so you will have to make other arrangements.
Para los familiares que piensan depositar la fianza, si algún familiar aparece en la orden de arresto como la presunta víctima, esta persona lamentablemente no puede ayudarle a tramitar la fianza, así que tendrá que arreglárselo de otra manera.
Some of you are charged with offenses offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Y algunos de ustedes tienen acusaciones de delitos por los cuales yo como juez no tengo la autorización para imponerle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before the Superior Court judge, and you will be informed of that date.
Si ese es el caso suyo, entonces una audiencia para determinar la fianza se programará ante un juez de la Sala Superior del Tribunal de Primera Instancia y a usted se le va a informar de la fecha.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bail, or set a bond.
Si actualmente se encuentra en una condena condicional de libertad a prueba, o sea, probation, esta juez no tiene la autoridad para imponerle una fianza hoy.
Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to determine if they wish to file a warrant for violation of probation. This is usually done during preliminary hearing.
Una reconsideración de su fianza se puede hacer una vez que el oficial o agente de probation tenga la oportunidad de determinar si va a levantar una orden en su contra por haber incumplido las normas de su condena condicional. Y normalmente eso sucede durante la audiencia preliminar.
One of the reasons for a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is enough evidence, probable cause, to continue with your case.
Uno de los motivos de celebrar una audiencia preliminar es para que el juez determine si existe suficiente pruebas, es decir, indicios racionales para pensar que se cometió un delito.
Those of you charged with misdemeanors only, you will have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing today.
Para ustedes que solamente tienen delitos menores, tendrán la opción a renunciar a la audiencia preliminar hoy mismo.
Waiving your hearing will not affect your right to post bond, your right to have a court-appointed attorney assist you, or your right to a jury trial.
Renunciar a la audiencia preliminar no afectará su habilidad de salir en libertad bajo fianza, de que le nombren un abogado de oficio o que tenga un juicio por jurado.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived and you will be mailed notice on when to appear in state court for your arraignment.
Si deposita la fianza, entonces la audiencia preliminar se queda renunciada automáticamente y se le enviará por correo la notificación de su próxima vista en la sala estatal del Tribunal de Primera Instancia.
If you require additional information, I will allow you to speak with your attorney first and make a decision later. Today, I will go ahead and give you a preliminary court date.
Si requiere más información para tomar esa decisión, permitiré que consulte primero con su abogado para informar al tribunal posteriormente si quiere la audiencia preliminar.
And again, that's for those who choose not to waive or don't know what to do.
Y repito, me refiero a los que no saben cómo elegir o no saben qué deberían de hacer.
Those of you charged with felony offenses, you do not have the option of waiving today, but the option will be given to you at a future date.
Y también se determinará hoy la fecha de su audiencia preliminar. Para ustedes que tienen delitos mayores, no tendrán la misma opción a renunciar a la audiencia preliminar hoy.
So I will provide you with a preliminary hearing date today.
Entonces hoy le voy a informar de la fecha de su audiencia preliminar.
All right, so first up is going to be Ricky Freeman, and we have counsel for Mr. Freeman, private counsel for Mr. Freeman.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Dennis Scheib. We'll waive reading of the warrants. I've already spoken to him about it, and you very eloquently went over all the rights and everything. So I guess the only thing we need is a probable cause hearing date.
All right, so you understand that there's no bond in this case.
Right.
Based on his probation status.
Right,
So-
Your Honor. I explained that to him.
Okay, good. So we have a preliminary court date set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
What date? September what?
30th,
What, you say that again?
30th.
30th?
Yes,
30?
yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Freeman, do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, stay in touch with your attorney, and we have your preliminary hearing scheduled for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge, very much. I appreciate it, ma'am. Have a nice
Thank you,
day.
Counsel. Have a good one. Same to you. Okay, before we call up the Spanish speaking, I just want to make sure the jail is aware. Sincere Mason and Sincere Mason has to be continued for officer to amend the warrant, as well as Isaiah Betty.
Oh, they've been, say those names again, Your Honor? We got David. Can you tell us those names again? You said they've been continued?
All right, can you hear me? Sincere Mason
Yeah, he's here, Sincere Mason.
and Betty, Beatty, Isaiah.
Okay.
Or Isa. All right. Okay, and who do you have needing an interpreter, please?
Those two people you just named, are those the first people you want to see, or are they continue?
They're continued until tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll give you the names
I
of
mean, not tomorrow. I think to the next
Saturday.
date. Thank you.
Stand up there and say your name. What's your name?
Jonathan Dorte.
What is it?
Jonathan Dorte.
Jonathan Dorte. What's your name?
Brandon Barragan.
Brandon.
Spell your last name.
D-U-A-R-T-E.
B-U-D.
D as a dog. D.
D-U.
D-U-A-R-T-E.
Jonathan Durante. Okay. And Mr. Durante,
Oh, we got two more too.
Señor Duarte,
hold on. I have to do one at a time.
Okay.
Sir, you're charged with trafficking in cocaine,
señor, a usted se le acusa de tráfico de cocaína,
possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime,
tenencia de un arma durante un delito mayor,
possession of THC oil,
posesión de aceite THC,
window tint violation,
una infracción por vidrios polarizados,
tail light obstruction,
tener obstruidos las luces traseras,
possession of hydrocodone,
posesión de hidrocodone.
¿Qué es eso?
What is that?
of hydrocodone.
Hidrocodone, señor?
No conozco, desconozco.
I don't know what that is.
He said what? I didn't hear you.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Schedule II drug.
Es un droga, una sustancia que aparece, que figura en la tabla 2 de sustancias reguladas.
You're also charged with possession of a substance with intent to manufacture drugs.
También se le acusa de tenencia de sustancias con ánimo de fabricar drogas.
Do you understand what you're charged with?
¿Entiende las acusaciones en su contra, señor?
Sí, sí.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you do not have a bond at this time.
En este momento no tiene concedida o impuesta la fianza.
We have a preliminary court date set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
Pero la audiencia preliminar suya está programada para el día 30 de septiembre en la sala 201 a las 8 de la mañana.
01.
And a bond hearing for October the 2nd at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
También la audiencia para determinar la fianza está programada para el 2 de octubre a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201. Your Honor, one moment, if I may interrupt. Mr. Duarte had a question, and I
Yes,
think
sir.
he was trying to ask as you were trying to explain. Sí, señor, su pregunta?
La primera fecha que me dijo, ¿cuál es?
What was the first date that you gave me, ma'am?
The preliminary court date for September the 30th at 8 a.m. at courtroom 201.
Para la audiencia preliminar es el 30 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201.
Ok.
Okay,
All right, and you may return with the deputy.
ya se puede retirar con el señor agente. Gracias, señor.
Who do you have next?
Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Brandon Barragán,
Brandon Barrera.
y con M al final, Brandon.
Brandon with an M at the end, Barrera.
Yes, okay. All right, and Mr. Barrera, you're charged with trafficking
Barragán,
cocaine,
Barrera.
Señor, ¿a usted se le acusa de tráfico de cocaína?
possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime,
Tenencia de un arma en el curso de un delito mayor.
possession of hydrocodone, Schedule 2 drug,
Tenencia de hidrocodone, un fármaco o droga que figura en la tabla 2 de sustancias reguladas.
possession of a substance with the intent to manufacture drugs,
Tenencia de sustancias con ánimo de fabricar drogas.
and possession of THC oil, Schedule 1.
Y también tenencia de aceite THC, una sustancia que figura en la tabla 1 de sustancias reguladas.
Sir, do you understand what you're charged with?
¿Entiende, señor, las acusaciones en su contra?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, you do not have a bond at this time.
En este momento no tiene concedida o impuesta la fianza.
You're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond in the future.
Se le ordene no incumplir la ley si sale en libertad bajo fianza en un futuro.
Your preliminary hearing date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m.
La fecha de su audiencia preliminar se señala para el día 30 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana.
And your bond hearing is set for October the 2nd at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
Y la audiencia para determinar su fianza se señala para el 12 de octubre a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201. Okay.
¿Es todo?
You may return
Yes.
with the deputy.
Se puede retirar, señor. Gracias.
Gracias.
All right, who
Thank
do
you.
you all have next?
Manuel. Manuel Márquez.
Manuel Marquez, Your Honor.
So now, okay. All right. Mr. Marquez, do you know what you're charged with?
Señor Márquez, ¿usted sabe lo que es la acusación en su contra?
Tengo a mi abogado.
I do have an attorney.
Okay, your attorney is not on the hearing right now. I'm asking you, do you know what you're charged with?
Bueno, señor, su abogado no se ha unido a la reunión virtual por el momento, pero le pregunto si usted entiende lo que es la acusación en su contra.
Sí, me dijeron dos acusaciones.
Yes, I was told what the charges were.
Do you want your charges read out loud?
¿Quiere, señor, que le lea las acusaciones en voz alta, públicamente?
Bueno, no sé mi abogado que...
Well, I don't know what my attorney would say.
So you have to answer. This is your first appearance hearing and I don't have an attorney on with you right now.
Bueno, señor, usted tiene que contestar. Esta audiencia es la comparecencia inicial y su abogado no está aquí presente con nosotros por el momento.
No sé qué hacer, o sea,
I don't know what to do.
no puede, bueno, a él le llega la información que se me dio ahorita.
Will he receive the information that you're going to give me now?
If he calls the jail or if you provide it to him.
Si él llama a la cárcel, sí, o si usted le da la información.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you answer my question, please?
¿Me puede contestar la pregunta, por favor?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want your charges read out loud?
¿Quiere que yo le lea las acusaciones en voz alta, señor?
No.
No.
All right, you do not have a bond at this time. You're ordered to stay away from Anna Tapia.
Está bien. Por el momento no tiene impuesta la fianza. Hay una orden judicial que usted que prohíbe contacto con Ana Tapia.
Okay.
Not to return to 4280 Cloudland Drive in Forest Park, Georgia.
Y no puede ir al domicilio en el 4280 de la Cloudland Drive, Forest Park, Georgia.
If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up.
Si usted tiene pertenencias suyas en ese domicilio, tendrá que arreglar con un agente del sheriff para ir a buscarlas.
And you're not to violate any laws while if you post bond in the future.
I don't have any belongings there. Y no puede incumplir la ley, señor, si sale bajo fianza en un futuro.
Your preliminary hearing is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m.
Su audiencia preliminar está señalada para el 30 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana
in courtroom 201.
en la sala 201. Okay.
And your bond hearing is set for October the 2nd at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
Y la audiencia para determinar su fianza se señala para el 12 de octubre a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201.
You may return with the deputy.
Puede retirarse, señor, con el agente. Thank
Who do
you.
you have next?
Go ahead, sir. Yes, since you got, same board. We're gonna do the females, yes. Judge, you wanna do the females, start the females first?
Is that all of the inmates needing Spanish interpreting?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Ms. Tolles.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you. Okay, we could do females first. Who do you have up?
All right, Judge.
Antoinette Brown.
All right. And you're Antoinette Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with criminal trespassing. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $3,000 and you're ordered to stay away from Akia Johnson. Do you all live in the same home, the 1371 Stoneham Court?
Yes, she lives in my house.
All right, is she also charged?
They didn't charge anything, no.
All right, so I am gonna have to order you not to return to the 1371 Stoneham Court in College Park, Georgia. If you have any belongings, any of your belongings, you do need to speak with the sheriff about making arrangements to pick that up, and you're not to violate any laws while you post bond. If you are the owner of the residence, you can speak with your court-appointed attorney so that they can provide us with additional information to consider. But at this time, because she's the alleged victim, you cannot return to that address. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
I can waive that.
I can't hear you.
I'd like to waive that.
All right, if you will, stand by to sign your waiver. Who do you have?
Chandrikia Gibbs.
Yes, speak loud.
You said Gantz?
Chandrikia Gibbs.
Gibbs. What happened to Erica Ucita?
Erica, you see them?
EUCEDA? Or is that an Eric? Hold on. It had a K in it. I'm sorry, that's a male. All right, and you're Sandrika Gibbs?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gibbs, you're charged with simple battery. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $5,000. You're ordered to stay away from Jasmine Rollhack, not to return. What is that Forest Park address?
That's my address, 999.
What is the Forest Park address?
999 Forest Avenue.
All right, does she also live there?
She lived with her dad. She called him yesterday.
Yes. I can't hear you.
Speak up, ma'am.
I don't know. She called her dad yesterday and told him she was coming there.
All right, well, you cannot return to the 999 Forest Avenue in Clayton County, Georgia address. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up. Please speak with your attorney about providing the court with additional information to reconsider that. But at the time of the incident, if you both resided there, I can't just change that just in case she's still there or she's still moving out.
So what if she do leave or whatever? Because she's locked up here too.
Right. So both of you need to speak with your attorney and they need to present information to the court.
I'm the mom and the lease is in my name. I don't have nowhere else to go. So where am I supposed to go? She has somewhere to go. She can go to her dad's house. I don't have nobody.
All right, what's her name?
Jasmine Rowley.
Okay, deputies, can you bring her up, please? If they can agree that which one is gonna leave, I'll consider that.
Rowley, she's supposed to be up here in court today. No, my daughter isn't in there.
She's in there? She's not in there. No, I don't know what she's talking about. She was coming there earlier, so.
Yeah, but she's here. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well,
She's locked up here, yeah.
Judge, she's not out here now.
She's a juvenile though.
No,
Jasmine Rolay is on the calendar. Can you
yeah,
have her to come up?
she's a juvenile. Her birthday is May the 8th,
Are you done with this?
1997.
You done with her, Your Honor?
Oh, yeah.
No, I want you all to bring up Jasmine Rolay.
I don't think they brought her from the back.
She's on the calendar.
Yeah, I know she's on the calendar, but they
Hold
haven't.
on, ma'am. Ms. Gibbs,
Ma'am,
don't say anything else, okay? Just hold on.
What's her name, Jasmine?
Jasmine Rolay, ROULHAC.
I know she was telling us that was her daughter, but yeah, I do see a Jasmine. You found it? You found it? Hold on, yeah.
Judge, can we put her aside?
We're gonna send you a chat, Judge.
Say it again.
We're gonna send you a chat.
Okay.
wow.
Okay. So, let's hold Ms. Gibbs for last, okay?
Yeah, come on, miss.
Go on, man.
Go back in there. Come on, thank you, sir. You go on for that. The next, are you the next person?
Who's you have next, Your Honor?
What's your name, ma'am?
That's Hardy.
Young Hardy.
All right, Ms. Hardy, you're charged with theft by conversion. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Oh, ma'am.
You said no?
No.
All right, it is said that on November the 15th of 2019, you did having lawfully obtained others' property, a 2019 Ford truck, and did knowingly convert the property to your own use in violation of the agreement as to the disposition of the said property. Said property having a value of $1,500 or greater, to with $20,000 with the intent to deprive said owner of said property. Your bond is $12,000. and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am. I need to, so I can go to the hospital.
Okay. All right, your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Deputies, she's indicating that she needs medical care, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Step this way, man.
Thank you.
It's already step this way. Come on.
All right, who do you have next?
Say your name.
Orion Denise Hurst.
I'm sorry, say your name again, ma'am.
Orion Denise Hurst.
Hurst?
Yes.
Yeah.
Move on. Hurst, H-U-R-S-T.
Yes, ma'am.
I do not have Hurst. Look on Hurst is crossed out. I don't have her paperwork.
Step back. Come on, man. Go sit in there. Say your name.
Charlene Bunlin.
I'm sorry, what's your last name, ma'am?
Munlin, M-O-N-L-I-N.
Charlene Mullen.
Yes,
Ma'am, you're charged with battery. Do you understand what you're charged with?
yes,
Your bond is $5,000. You're ordered to stay away from Dominique Brown, not to return to 5190 Henderson Road in Clayton County, Georgia. You have any of your belongings at that address. You are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up. And you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
yes.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it? Ma'am?
Waive.
All right, stand by to sign your waiver.
Right now, phone number, please, right there. The 20th of August, 2020. Got you down there. You sign it right there, bro. You the one that they dressed out, right?
What's your name?
Blunt,
Don't worry about it. All right, go back in
Ma'am,
there.
what's your name?
Jamaya Blunt,
What's your name again?
Is that Blunt?
Blunt.
All right, Ms. Blunt, you're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That is possession of ecstasy and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand what you're charged with? Ma'am, do you understand what you're charged with? Your bond is $11,500. You're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy. What's your name, ma'am?
If it's bad,
All right, Ms. Fed, you're charged with reckless conduct and cruelty to children in the 2nd degree. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Your bond is $17,000. You're ordered to stay away from Lion Scott, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy. What is your name, ma'am?
Cassandra Johnson.
Chandra Johnson. Ms. Johnson, you're charged with theft by taking and burglary. Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, ma'am.
All right. For the theft by taking, it is said on July the 28th of this year at 108 Oriole Drive in Jonesboro, Georgia. You did take Untitled Chapter Johnson's blue 2008 Chrysler Sebring, valued at $1,500 or greater, but less than $24,999.99, with the intent to deprive him of said property. For theft by taking, the bond is $12,000. And then the burglary with intent to commit a felony in the 2nd degree, it is said that on July the 28th at that same address in Clayton County, without authority and with the intent to commit a felony or theft therein, entered the home of Mr. Johnson, the structure designed for use as a dwelling of another, that you were seen dragging his black rectangle chest with silver trim into a U-Haul moving and storage unit owned by you, that you had lived at that location together in the past. For the burglary is $25,000. You're ordered to stay away from Antago Johnson, not to return to 108 Oriole Drive in Jonesboro, Georgia, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
And try, but I live there. Those are my things. So, and he don't own that car. So I'm trying
So
to.
you have to speak with your attorney about the facts of the case, ma'am. I'm just reading the warrant at this time.
Okay, so what's the total of the bond?
$37,000. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, I can try.
And okay, and then your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, and you may return with the deputy.
Shantavia Johnson.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you're charged with simple assault. Do you understand what you're charged with? Your bond is $4,500. You're ordered to stay away from James Turner, not to return to 3847 Highway 138 in Stockbridge, Georgia, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
Waive.
Stand by to sign your waiver.
Yeah.
Tess Joyner. Tess Ashley Joyner.
All right, Ms. Joyner, you're charged with criminal trespassing and obstructing or hindering law enforcement. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I can't hear you anymore.
You're ordered to, did you hear what your bond is?
No, I did not.
Okay, your bond is $6,000. You're ordered to stay away from Christopher Castagenio, not to return to 6 Cameron Landing Drive in Stockbridge, Georgia, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond.
Yes, okay.
Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, I can post bond.
All right, and do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
I'll waive my preliminary hearing.
Stand by to sign your waiver.
Sorry about that. Manushka Pierre. Okay.
Spell your last name, please.
Pierre.
He's here.
Is Yulissa Munez Altabon?
Excuse me?
I'm talking to the deputy.
She just called the name. Yeah, she called the name.
All right, and you're Yulissa Munez?
Yes.
You're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand what you're charged with? Your bond is $2,000. You're ordered not to return to the Walmart at 2940 Anvil Block Road in Ellenwood, Georgia, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
Can you explain that part?
Okay, what I'm going to do is schedule your preliminary hearing for September the 1st at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Once you speak with your court-appointed attorney, if you choose to waive, they can notify the court and they can explain it further to you, okay?
The thing is, I'm gonna give birth on the 29th of August.
I didn't hear you.
I'm gonna give birth on the 29th of August. And
You're saying you have a scheduled date or that's your due date?
due date is the 29th. You think you can put it on September 20th or something?
I'll give you an OR bond, okay? I'll give you an OR bond, ma'am, but do not return to Walmart.
All right, this time. All right, go.
Tell me your name again, ma'am.
Anushka Pierre.
The last name is Pierre. Our last name is Pierre.
You said Pierre, P-I-E-R-R. I think I saw that name. Hold on. Just trying to make sure I didn't skip any of the. Okay, I have it. All right, Ms. Pierre, you're charged with criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Do you understand what you're charged with? Ma'am, do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
All right, your bond is $8,000. You're ordered to stay away from Usley, Tucson, and Romulus, Tucson, not to return to 1020 Cedar Circle in Forest Park, Georgia, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, and you may return with the deputy.
Thank
you.
Rosalinda Serratos.
Take your hand out. Take your hand out.
Spell your last name for me, please.
Serratos.
All right. All right, Mr. Ratos, you're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, that is possession of THC oil and stop sign violation. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $8,500 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy.
Yeah, man.
And your name?
Clayton Williams.
Say it again.
Clayton Williams.
Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, don't have a oh. I mixed you up. All right, you're charged with criminal trespassing and simple battery. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
You said yes, ma'am?
Ma'am.
I didn't.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
understand what? Oh, okay. All right, you do not have a bond at this time. It looks like you're on probation out of Clayton County. You're ordered to stay away from Rakidrika Williams and Jean Allen, not to return to 950 Lake Ridge Parkway in Riverdale, Georgia, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond in the future. You have to, do you want to waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
I'd like to have it.
All right, that's gonna be set for September the 1st, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy.
Okay, and what about probation hearing? When would I get that?
You have to speak with your attorney. We appointed a court-appointed attorney to you so you can speak with them and they can walk you through the process, okay?
Female, got one more.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's all. See your name.
Charles Bazemore.
What's your name, sir?
Charles Bazemore.
Spell your last name.
Bazemore.
All right, I had a few people in front of you, so let me get clarity. What happened to Solomon Bart?
Step up, Solomon back. Your name is Solomon back?
Yes, how you doing, Your Honor?
I'm fine, thank you. You're charged with disorderly conduct. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, I understand.
Your bond is $1,500 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Post bond, I'm not a drug dealer, I don't have any money.
All right, do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
I would like to have it.
That's going to be set for September the 1st at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy.
That's okay, I'll waive it. I'll waive it.
All right, stand by to sign your waiver, sir. What's your name, sir?
Charles Bazemore.
All right, what happened to Muhammad Bangora? And then I have Corey Bass, and then I have Bazemore. All right, Mr. Bazemore, you're charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Your bond is $7,500, and you're ordered to stay away from Antonio Smith, not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond? Your court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy. You have Muhammad Bangora. And you're Muhammad Bangora?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree, cruelty to children in the first degree, family violence, battery, and cruelty to children in the third degree. Do you understand what you're charged with?
A little bit, yes, a little bit.
Sir, I can't hear you. Do you understand what you're charged with?
A little bit, yes.
Would you like me to read your warrant?
Yes, please.
All right, for criminal damage to property in the second degree, it is said that on August the 16th at 5768 Gold Leaf Court in Rex, Georgia, you did intentionally damage the property of Octavia Bangora, an iPhone XR valued at $700 without her consent by slamming the phone into the washing machine, causing the glass face to shatter and disabling the iPhone from use.
Yes.
That bond is $6,500. It's also said on the same day at that same location in Clayton County, you did maliciously cause the victim, a child under the age of 18, excessive physical harm by maliciously striking the victim's head with an iPhone, the victim being Joy McDowell. Complaints of head pain and visual injury to her head was going to require medical attention. Says the victim and the offender live in the same house. Cruelty to children in the first degree, that bond is $12,000. On that same day at the same location in Clayton County, says that you did intentionally cause visible injury to your wife, Octavia Bangora, by striking and scratching her, leaving scratches on her forehead and hand. Said that you did commit the offense of battery when you caused visible injury to your juvenile stepdaughter's head, Joy McDowell, by striking her in the head with the iPhone. Juvenile stepdaughter was bleeding profusely from an open wound to her forehead. Says the offender and the victims all live in the same house. That family violence battery is $6,500 bond. And then you have the cruelty to children in the third degree. Same date, same location, says that you did, the primary aggressor, having knowledge that a child under the age of 18 was present and or hearing the act of the accused, did commit battery, family violence, and criminal damage to property against the victims, Octavia Bangora and Joy McDowell. The offender's two sons, Eli McDowell and Mikhail Bangora, were present and witnessed the altercation between the offender and the victims. That bond is $5,000. Your total bond is $30,000. You're ordered to stay away from Octavia Bangora, Joy McDowell, Eli McDowell, and Mikhail Bangora, not to return to 5768 Gold Leaf Court in Rex, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up. and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes,
Sir,
how much would that be? Like,
$30,000.
if I have to go to a bond company, how much would that be?
You'd have to speak with them, sir. Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, and you may return with the deputy.
Okay.
I have Corey Bass. Are you Corey Bass?
Yes.
You're charged with driving without a license, failing to stop at a stop sign, and theft by receiving stolen property, felony. You do not have a bond at this time. Do you understand what you're charged with?
I do have a bond.
You do not have a bond at this time, sir.
Gave me one. Okay.
All right. Your preliminary court date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy. I have Maurice Bourne. And then I have DeMonte Brown.
On the Monte Brown. Hey,
I need Maurice Bourne, then DeMonte Brown.
Maurice Warren. One second, Judge. We got him.
Yeah, he's one in the cell up there, born. That's Wetzel.
Got him.
Blackman, come on, Blackman. Blackman, come on. Check out, check.
Come to the podium right here, boy. Come on, stand here, right here. Your brother's sleeping, stand right here. Judge, he is right here. Judge, you got him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Judge, he is right here.
Okay, all right, Mr. Bourne. Okay. You're charged, I'm sorry? Are you Bourne? Yes. You're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Speak louder.
All right, you do not have a bond at this time. Looks like you're on probation out of Clayton County. You're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond in the future. Your preliminary court date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, and you may return with the deputy. I have DeMonte Brown next, and then Lenoris Brown. You're DeMonte Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with theft by receiving stolen property, fleeing from police, reckless driving, driving with an expired tag, improper lane change. And then the second count of theft by receiving stolen property has been dismissed. That does not mean that the state will not bring it at a later date. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have a bond at this time. Looks like you're on probation out of Fulton County for a 2014 matter. Your preliminary, well, you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond in the future. Your preliminary court date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, and you may return with the deputy. After Mr. Brown is Christopher Lauren, or Lauren Christopher, and you're Lenoris Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with battery and criminal damage to property in the second degree. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you do not have a bond at this time.
Can you tell me why?
Yes. It looks like you're on probation out of Decatur County Superior Court. Since you were sentenced in 2007 to 15 years, then you had a sentence in 2018 for 3 years. You're ordered to stay away from Sierra Jones, not to return to 1368 Camellia Street in Riverdale, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Your preliminary court date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy.
Can I ask you, you said the case from what, 2018?
You have a 2018 and 2007.
Yeah, the 2008, it don't start till 2000, after 2022.
Yeah, so speak with your attorney, and if there's additional information for the court to consider, they can properly present it to the court, okay? All right, I have Lauren Christopher and Brick Ucita. Eric Ucita.
Out on bond,
Who is?
Christopher,
Thank you.
Mr. Ucita right here.
All right, after Mr. Ucita is Crawford Hurt. All right, Mr. Ucita, you're charged with driving without a license. We've dismissed the use of possession of drug-related objects. That does not mean that the state cannot bring it at a later date. And you have possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $2,000. You're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I'll waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver. After Mr. Hurd, I have Terrence House. All right, you're Crawford Hurd. You're charged with theft by receiving stolen property. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Correct, yeah.
Your bond is $10,000, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
How much is that gonna bring?
$10,000 is your bond.
Okay.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy. Right. After Mr. House, I have Willie Jones. You're Terrence House?
No.
Yes.
Are you Terrence House?
No.
Are you charged with driving on a suspended license and window tint violation? Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $2,000 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. You think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes. I got a question.
Did you answer my question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and do you want to waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
Waive it.
All right, and what's your question, sir?
Am I able to get a signature bond?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you a signature bond, sir. You can return with the deputy. All right, after Mr. Jones is Marquavos Jones. And you're Willie Jones Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're charged with driving on a suspended license. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $1,500 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
No, ma'am, can I get a signature bond?
No, sir.
Ma'am,
Do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
I'll wait. Get
Stand
up.
by to sign your waiver.
Hey.
After Mr. Jones is Pascal Lugo Hernandez, and you're Marquavos Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with driving without a license and speeding. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $2,500, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Oh, man, but we able to have a signature bond?
No, sir. Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
Oh, waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver.
What does it mean by waive it?
Come on, come on. Bring your name up over.
Did he ask a question? I didn't hear him.
You were trying to know the meaning of waiving.
Okay, hold on, because then he may want a preliminary hearing.
Hey, man, hey.
All right, sir, do you want to have your preliminary hearing? Do you want to speak with your attorney first and make a decision later? Then I can schedule one, or do you want to waive?
How long would that be?
The hearing date is set for September 1st.
I would like to waive it. But how can I get on a signature bond?
Because the rate of speed that you were driving, sir.
So what amount I would have to pay just to get out?
You'd have to speak with either a bonding company, or I don't know what the surcharges are, so I can't give you the exact amount. I know the bond is $2,500.
Well, where would I go to bonding company?
Say it again.
Bonding company, will I be able to go to that?
You'll have to call them. You'd have to speak with them and see what their requirements are.
Judge Lugo was one of your Spanish-speaking inmates.
No, he wasn't up. You all didn't bring him up. He wasn't one of the ones that we took care of. So do we need to try and get the interpreter back?
Go back down to that. Hold on, Judge. Today's 20th, August 2020.
Judge, you need the interpreter again?
He's gonna tell us. Can I have Deontay McCrary while you all figure that one, the Lugo matter out? All right, sir, what's your name?
Darius McCurry.
All right, you're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, that is possession of cocaine. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you do not have a bond at this time. Your order not to violate any laws if you post bond in the future. Looks like you're on probation out of Bibb County. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy. I have Demetrius Pearson, unless you have Lugo.
Where's Lugo? Lugo? George, you gonna need the interpreter.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Myers, can you try to reach out to the interpreter?
Your Honor, we got 3 inmates that were missed that need interpreters. Lugo, bragging, one of the ones that was missed earlier. Oh, matter of fact, he's gonna be on the day 2, the bragging.
That's 2 people you named. Who's the third?
All right, what's the third one? Who's the third one?
Jefferson.
There's some of them on day 2, Your Honor. Pina,
Pina,
yes.
Lugo, Pina, and what's the third?
Braggin. It's Braggin.
Okay, well, I'll let you know when they're up. Demetrius Pearson.
Pearson.
Who's Pearson?
He's gonna be medical. I sent you a chat about him, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jeremy Powell.
Last name Powell?
Yes.
On bond. He's on
You
bond.
said,
He's not on
I
bond.
didn't hear. Thank you. Justin Ramsey. You're Justin Ramsey.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ramsey, you're charged with 4 counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That is possession of marijuana, possession with intent to distribute, possession of Xanax, possession of MDMA, and driving under the influence, less safe. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $43,000 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am. Is it possible for me to have a lower bond?
Not at this time, sir.
Okay.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy.
I have a question, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Can I pay through a bonding company or is it straight cash?
You'd have to contact the bonding company, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Timmy Ramsier and then Antonio Smith.
Judge, do you have a sincere Mason?
I feel like we did that one already. Maybe. Let's see.
He's still down here.
You said Mason is the last name?
Yes, first name sincere.
I have him, but we still on ours. I have him the other way around, I think is what it is. Hold on. It was Lugo. I'm not sure what, hold on one second. Oh, remember that was one of the ones that we said was continued so that the officer can amend the warrant.
I think so, yeah, I remember.
Okay. I told to the judge again. State your name.
All right, Mr. Ramsor, you're charged with speeding, 56 in a 40-mile-per-hour speed zone, and driving on a suspended license. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $2,000, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Not that ever.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I like to have it.
That's going to be set for September the 1st at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy. Antonio Smith, and then Eric Smith. You're Antonio Smith.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
You're charged with family violence, battery, and aggravated battery. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Battery and aggravated battery?
That's correct.
I thought it was just family violence and aggravated battery, ma'am. That's all I seen. Cause I don't understand. Battery.
Okay, I can read it. I can read the affidavit to you, sir. Says that on August the 18th, you did maliciously cause bodily harm to Charles Bazemore by seriously disfiguring the victim's left wrist and caused a visible laceration to the right side of the victim's face. Says you struck him with an iron metal on the left right side of his face, head, and left wrist. The incident occurred in Clayton County. Say that you all are roommates. That's as to the aggravated battery. And then it says that on August the 17th at 7405 Mockingbird Trail in Riverdale, Georgia, that you did commit the act of family violence battery when you was in a physical altercation with Charles Bazemore. Says that you when striking, causing a minor laceration to the top right eye, and it says that you all live in the same household.
Okay.
You do not have a bond at this time. You're ordered to stay away from Charles Bazemore, not to return to 7405 Mockingbird Trail in Riverdale, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond.
2064.
Your court date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy.
Job, I do get a bond?
You do not have a bond at this time.
Why can I get a bond if I can bond it?
It looks like you are on supervised release, some sort of parole or probation through December the 3rd of 2023.
What parole to do?
Paperwork that I received, sir. If you want to speak with your court-appointed attorney and have them provide the court with different information, we'll be glad to look at it, but that's what we have right now.
It's my job. I just got my job back from the pandemic. I can't get a bond if I can go to work, at least help my family. I won't have to go back to 7405 Mockingbird Trail.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, you have Erica Smith.
Who?
I'm sorry.
Your Honor.
Erica Smith.
Judge, hold on. Not you.
Oh, yes, sir.
I would not, Your Honor, I have to go to work if I can help my family. You told me not to go back to 7405 Mockingbird. You won't have to worry about it.
Sir, you do not have a bond at this time. You need to speak with your attorney, okay?
Oh, yeah, come on. Come on over. Who is left, Judge?
I have an Erica Smith.
Smith.
She's out on bond.
Out of one.
Thank you. Montavia Smith,
Bond.
out to bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Randy Terry,
Out of bond.
Robert Vickers.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're charged with simple battery. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $5,000. You're ordered to stay away from Tanya Wiley, not to return to 761 Stewart Drive in Jonesboro, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up. And you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am. Is there any way I could do a signature bond?
No, sir.
Okay.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I waive it. I just have one question for you.
What's your question?
So the house is in my name. The lease is in my name. That girl is just a friend that I decided to let stay there because she was homeless. So I'm not allowed to return to my home.
Right, so speak with your court-appointed attorney, and once you do that, they can present the proper paperwork for the court to consider making changes to the bond. But because she's an alleged victim in the case, that's the order of the court right now, okay?
And being that I have filed a police report on her before for, violence against me, am I able to get my bond lowered at all?
Okay, so I'm not gonna do that right now, but again, have your attorney properly present information to the court to reconsider, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Please stand by to sign your waiver. All right, then I have DeMonte Blackman.
What's the name?
I don't know.
Dante Blackman, and then Carlton Burns. Are you Dante Blackman? Are you Dante Blackman?
No.
You're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce and possession of MDMA. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yeah, ma'am.
Your bond is $11,500, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yeah, ma'am.
And your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy. Have Carlton Burns and then Daquan Chin. Your Carlton Burns.
What's the name? They got me put in Carlton Burns, but I think for the future paper with my fingerprint, to say my real name.
And what's your name, sir?
Darius Jamal White, but they got me put in Carlton Burns.
Spell your first name.
SIDARIS.
You said SID.
ARIS.
And your last name?
White.
WHITE?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you're charged with giving false name, address, or date of birth. Do you understand what you're charged with?
They say for this bitch that because
I want you to answer yes or no. Do you understand, or do you want me to read the affidavit?
read affidavit.
It is said that on August the 19th, you commit the offense of giving the name of Darius Jamel White.
Yeah, that's me.
When his vehicle, a 2011 Nissan Altima, was pulled over when the offender was ran through GCIC. The response was that he had an active warrant. The name the offender gave me was AKA for Burns Carlton. So it's further proved when the offender's fingerprints were checked on Rapid ID, the offender's fingerprint came back to us as Carlton, as Burns Carlton Jafon 10388. And the name he gave, I guess that's the Darius White, was an AKA. All right, the bond is $2,500.
But Darius White is my name.
And you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Speak with your court-appointed attorney about the facts of your case, okay? Do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
I waive it.
And do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
Stand by to sign your waiver. I have Daquan Chin and then Trace Green. You're Daquan Chin.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with obstructing an officer, loitering or prowling. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $3,500 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
No, ma'am. I got
Do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
What name did you give up there?
I'll waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver. After Mr. Green is Rashad Gardner. Trace Green. I guess that's out of order. All right, and you are Trace Green. Mr. Green, you're charged with simple battery and criminal trespassing. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have a bond at this time and said that you're on probation out of Clayton County. You are to stay away from Lakeisha McCullough, not to return to 2881 Kensington Way in Rex, Georgia. You have any of your belongings at that address. You are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up. And you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think, well, you don't have a bond at this time. Do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
When can I get a bond, ma'am? I'll waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver. All right, Mr. Gardner and then Ruben Jeter. And you're Rashad Gardner.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Gardner, you're charged with theft by receiving stolen property, possession of a firearm, by a convicted felon, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and 2 counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That is with the intent to distribute marijuana and cocaine. Do you understand what you're charged with? Sir?
Yes.
Your bond is $52,000 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yeah.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy. What's your name?
It's Ruben Jetter.
After Mr. Jetter is Preston Johnson. You're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Sir, do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes.
Your bond is $1,500 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
I'll waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver. After Preston Johnson is Corando Juarez. And you're Preston Johnson.
Yes.
You're charged with terroristic threats or act, simple battery and reckless conduct. Do you understand what you're charged with? You do not have a bond at this time. You're ordered to stay away from Ebony Jones, not to return to 228 Johnson Road in Forest Park, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you ought to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up. And you're not to violate any laws if you post bond in the future. Your preliminary court date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy.
I don't.
After Mr. Juarez is William Manuel, and you're Corando Juarez,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Your bond is $2,000. You're ordered not to return to the Walmart at 2940 Anvil Block Road in Ellenwood, Georgia. And you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
Waive.
Stand by to sign your waiver. After Mr. Manuel is Amari Mays, and you're William Manuel.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're charged with obstructing an officer, possession of marijuana less than an ounce in violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of crack cocaine. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have a bond at this time. You're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond in the future. Your preliminary court date is set for September the 30th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy. After Mr. Mays is Tajay McCray. You're Amari Mays. You're charged with criminal trespassing. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yeah.
Your bond is $3,500, and you're ordered to stay away from Siani Brown, not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you both live at the 804 Carrington Park?
No, I actually live in Detroit.
Right. Then you're not to return to the 804 Carrington Park in Jonesboro, Georgia, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
Yes, I waive it.
All right, stand by to sign your waiver. After Mr. McCray is Tyrone Middlebrook, and you're Tajay McCray.
Yeah, I'm Tajay McCray.
You're charged with simple assault. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Your bond is $5,000. You're ordered to stay away from Martez McCray and Christina McCray, not to return to 10891 Terra Village in Jonesboro, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you ought to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up. You're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond? Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I like to have it.
That's going to be set for September the 1st at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy. After Mr. Middlebrooks is Joshua Mitchell, and you're Tyrone Middlebrooks. You're charged with 2 counts of possession with intent. 1 count is with intent to distribute of marijuana and possession more than an ounce. You also have a possession of firearms during the commission of a felony and seatbelt violation. We dismissed the possession with intent to distribute. That does not mean that the state will not bring it at a later date. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your total bond is $18,500, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy. After Mr. Mitchell is Tanel Merle. You're Joshua Mitchell.
Yeah.
You're charged with battery and simple battery. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Your bond is $10,000. You're ordered to stay away from Cornelius Solomon and Keith Hackett, not to return to 852 Bryan Lane in Forest Park, Georgia. You're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
What is post bond?
Pay to be released.
So I get released today?
If you post bond
If
through the 3 ways I mentioned earlier,
Dollars.
Sir?
Somebody can pay the $10,000.
Yes, or you can go through a bonding company or property bond, but one of the 3 ways.
Okay, so how long would I be here? I'm just wondering.
It's when you post bond, you'll be released pending your disposition. So
Oh,
you'll come back after. Excuse me?
10 days?
No, sir. You're gonna, once you post bond,
Mhm.
you'll be released and you'll come back for your court date.
Oh.
But you have to post bond.
Okay, all right then.
All right. Are you gonna waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it? If you're not sure, you can speak with your attorney first and I can give you a court date.
Repeat that over, I didn't understand what you said.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
What is a preliminary hearing? A court case?
It's a date, and one of the things they try to determine at that hearing is whether there is enough evidence to move forward with the case. But you can skip it with a waiver if you choose to, but if you want to have it, you can. And we have a date set for September the 1st. Okay, so I'm gonna set it for September 1st. After you speak with your attorney, if you choose to waive, they can notify the court. That's gonna be 8 a.m. in room 201. And you can return with the deputy.
Do I get released today?
Yes, come on.
I get released today?
Come on.
No, sir. You have to post bond. After Mr. Merle is Charles Norris. And you're Tanel Merle.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, go over there.
You're charged with criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am. I stay here 10 days.
Your bond is $12,000, and you're ordered to stay away from Latoya Moore, not to return to 6325 Westbury Road in Riverdale, Georgia. You're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
And the preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy.
Who's the next? Who's the next?
After Mr. Norris is going to be Herbert Nottage.
Listen, man. Listen now.
And you're Charles Norris.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with theft by taking. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
What's his name?
Your bond is $9,500. You're ordered to stay away from Robert Fuller, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
No, ma'am.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy. After Mr. Nottage is Omar Arang. And you're Herbert Nottage.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with simple assault. Your bond is $5,000. You're ordered to stay away from Keisha Ivins, not to return to 1612 Fairway Point Drive in Riverdale, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yeah, but there's any, I just started a new job yesterday. Isn't there way I can get a signature bond? I don't have any.
No, sir. Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I would like to have it.
All right, that's going to be set for September the 1st at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you may return with the deputy. After Mr. Orang is Keon Phoenix, and you're Omar Orang.
Ma'am.
You're charged with theft by receiving stolen property, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, leaving the scene of an accident and following too closely. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $13,500, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, and you may return with the deputy.
Yes, ma'am.
After Phoenix is Darius Sanders, and you're Keon Phoenix.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with criminal trespassing. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $3,500. You're ordered to stay away from Felicia Kennedy, not to return to 681 Flint River Road in Jonesboro, Georgia. If you have any of your belongings at that address, you are to make arrangements with the sheriff to pick it up, and you're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I'll waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver. After Mr. Sander is Kyle Spain, and you're Darius Sanders.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $2,000, and you're ordered not to return to the Walmart at 2940 Anvil Block Road in Ellenwood, Georgia. You're not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver.
All right.
After Mr. Spain is Robert Wetzel, and you're Kyle Spain.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with a fray. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $1,000, and you're ordered to stay away from James Turner, not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond,
Ma'am.
sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like to have it?
I do.
Which one?
I waive it, ma'am.
All right, stand by to sign your waiver. Okay. All right, then I'll have Randy Williamson. After Mr. Williamson is Trey Ziegler. And you're Randy Williamson.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with driving on a suspended license, improper turn, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and giving false name, address, or date of birth. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $5,000, and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
No.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
Yes. I waive it. I waive it.
Stand by to sign your waiver. Trey Ziegler.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ziegler, you're charged with fleeing from police and driving on suspended registration. Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, ma'am.
It is said that on January the 9th of this year at Jonesboro Road at South Lake Parkway in Morrow, Clayton County, you did commit the offense of driving, fleeing, or attempting to elude police officer. In that, defendant did unlawfully operate a silver 2009 Lexus RX 350 when he willfully failed or refused to bring said vehicle to a stop or attempt to elude a pursuing police officer, police vehicle or police officer when given a visual and or audible signal to do so. That's a bond of $2,500. It's also said on the same date, January 9th of this year, same location in Clayton County, Georgia, you unlawfully did operate a silver 2009 Lexus RX 350, which was registered to a Trey Sean Ziegler with suspended, canceled, or revoked registration. That bond is $500. Total bond is $3,000. In order not to violate any laws, if you post bond, do you think you'll be able to post bond?
No, ma'am.
And do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
You said I could wait until council, correct?
That's correct.
All right, I would like to.
All right, I'll schedule you for September the 1st, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Once you speak with your attorney, if you choose to waive, they'll notify the court. You can return with the deputy. All right, do you all want to do medical or your fugitives?
Judge, we have, do you have an Isaiah Beatty, B-E-A-T-T-Y?
I can look.
Yes, ma'am. And what's your name, sir? First name?
DeMario Wright.
DeMario. And a DeMario Wright.
I have no paperwork on DeMario Wright. And who else?
Is it Isaiah Beatty? Last name B-E-A-T-T-Y, ma'am.
You said B-E-A?
T-Y, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Beatty is.
Oh, yeah, I saw something. Yeah, I called for him earlier, and what did you all say?
Say it again, ma'am.
Hold on one second. Let me get your paperwork, sir. I do remember that name that I looked at.
You got the inmate worker.
This side.
Yeah. We normally use this one here.
All right, so Mr. Beatty's matter was continued for the officer to amend the warrant.
And Mario says she don't have any paperwork on you, so you can go also. Come on, sir.
Well, when we go to when you go down there. What unit you in?
Okay, yeah, Judge, we have the last fugitive here, so we're ready with fugitive.
You have what? All three of them?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me pull their paper.
What's your name, sir? Holly Taylor, officer. Holly Taylor? Holly Taylor?
Yes, officer.
Stand right here, hold on.
Eric Thurman,
We get
can
Thurman.
you pull all three of them up so I can read the dialogue one time?
Yes, ma'am.
Eric Thurman, Anthony Holly Taylor, and Chantel Grace Rapp.
There should be three.
Female rap. Right here.
They're coming, Judge.
Rap.
All right.
Who's rap? Rap, come on, rap. And like that.
All right, Eric Thurman. Who's Eric Thurman? All right, Mr. Thurman, it is said that you are wanted out of Marion County, Jasper, Tennessee, for failure to appear. I believe that warrant number is 11153A. Anthony Holly Taylor.
Hey, ma'am, Your Honor. Come on.
I cannot see Mr. Taylor. Can you all move over once? Okay, Mr. Taylor, it is said that you are wanted out of Dothan, Alabama for theft of property. It's under warrant number 2020-000187. And then Chantel Grace Rapp.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's said that you are wanted out of Fort Knox, Kentucky for military desertion under warrant number 0538111313. Are any of you all represented by an attorney for your extradition hearing?
You have a attorney? You have a lawyer? No. You have a lawyer? You have a lawyer? No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna read some information to you all and then you let me know how you want to proceed. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to OCGA Title 17, Chapter 13. As you have heard, it's alleged that you are charged with a crime out of a demanding state. You have a choice as to whether you wish to contest extradition or to waive extradition and be returned to the other state without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide that you wish to contest extradition, the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to the other state. I am not going to give you a bond at this time, as it is said that you are fugitives from justice. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to the state that is demanding you may file what's called a writ of habeas corpus. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest four things. The first is whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. The second is whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in the demanding state. The third is whether you are the person named in the request for extradition. And the fourth is whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest innocence or guilt in this state. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in contesting extradition or in deciding whether to waive extradition. If the state is unable to extradite you within the 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. If the extradition is not complete within 90 days, then you will be released. Do any of you have any questions about what I just explained?
Yes, Your Honor, I do have a question.
What's your question, sir?
You said we will be able to get someone to actually explain what's going on, like to help me out, because I have no idea what's going on. What you just said.
Your jail is holding you for another state, so you would have to retain an attorney to assist you in your extradition matter. You don't have a pending case here in Clayton County.
Okay. Do we waive extradition? Like they told me
that
got 10 days. If we waive extradition, they told me that they only got 10 days to come pick us up or something like that.
So that's not that's not correct. They normally come within that time frame once you waive extradition and the jail notifies the court. But given COVID, there may be some delays. I have not heard that it took 90 days, I know, but it may be longer than 10 days if you waive. And then, like I said, you may contest it through the filing of a habeas corpus if you choose to go that route as well.
I just want to be clear, like, if we waive, they got up to 90 days, and if we don't waive, how long do they got?
No, if I don't have a cutoff date, they are come within a reasonable amount of time. Generally speaking, they come sooner than later, but I don't have a date. I can't say they have to be here by this date. That's not how that works.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let me go one by one. Ms. Rapp, do you waive or do you want to contest the extradition? Ms. Rapp.
Yes, Your Honor. Would like to contest.
Can you move, can you come closer because I can't hear you? All right, do you waive the extradition and want the other state to come and get you, or do you contest it and you want to file a habeas corpus?
I waive it, Your Honor.
Okay, so the jail is going to give you up to 8 copies of the waiver. Make sure that you sign each of them and keep the last one for your record, okay? All right, Mr. Holly Taylor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and how are you proceeding with your case? Are you waiving or are you contesting?
So if I waive it, Your Honor, I'm just trying to make sure I understand what's going on. So if I waive it, Your Honor, then I have to go to Alabama. And then when I go to Alabama, I have to go to trial in Alabama, correct?
I'm not, you have the option of going to trial in Alabama. You dispose of it like any other criminal case in Alabama, though. If you waive, they'll just come and get you.
And then I'll just take my chances with Alabama, correct?
You'll go through the process in Alabama. Yes, so remember Clayton County is holding you for an Alabama matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. And so if you waive, that means Alabama's gonna come and get you to go to Alabama and deal with that matter. If you contest it, you're gonna file your habeas and we'll determine whether the extradition documents are in order.
I'll go ahead and waive it. I'll take my chances with Alabama, Your Honor.
All right, make sure that you sign all 8 copies and keep the last one for your record.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then Mr. Thurman, are you going to waive or contest your extradition, sir?
I'll waive. I want to waive.
You said waive, okay. Please sign all 8 copies and keep the last one for your record, okay? Thank you. All right, so I don't see that the interpreter has come back. I know that she had another matter that she was going to after we handled hers. I don't know how you all missed people, but we have to allow her to finish in the other hearing before she comes back. So who else do you have? Now you all are going to go to the other unit, is that right?
Yeah, we're trying to get our unit
Because
set.
we don't have the interpreter right now.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to get a unit set up in medical.
You said you're getting it set up?
Yes, ma'am. In medical, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Judge, I'm contacting JAR 2 now.
Thank you.
Judge, she's about to log on now.
All the same just sign the last one will be yours. That's all you see. I don't know, but they will send them a message. They know that they will be very for pickup. Do you have anybody from medical? No, going back, like inmate, that you are doing the head count. No. We don't have nobody.
What's up with the guy in there?
Because the guy that was done there.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Toles, for coming back to us. Pascal Lugo Hernandez.
Lugo Hernandez.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you're charged with driving without a license and forgery in the second degree.
Hola, señor, buenas tardes. ¿Me puede oír?
Sí.
Ok, a usted se le acusa de manejar sin licencia de conducir y falsificación en el segundo grado.
Do you understand what you're charged with?
¿Entiende, señor, las acusaciones en su contra? Your Honor, did you hear a response? I didn't hear one. Perdón, señor, no lo oí. ¿Entiende las acusaciones en su contra?
Sí.
Yes.
Your bond is $9,500 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond.
Tiene una fianza en la cantidad de $9,500 y se le ordene no incumplir la ley si sale en libertad bajo fianza. Okay.
Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
¿Piensa que va a poder depositar la fianza, señor, y salir?
Probablemente.
Probably.
Your preliminary court date is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
La fecha de su audiencia preliminar, señor, se señala para el día 12 de octubre a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201. Ya se puede retirar, gracias.
Manuel Pena Miosis.
Moisés Manuel Peña.
Sí.
Okay. Adelante, por favor.
How do I show you? I'm not culpable. Are you?
Go ahead, Your Honor.
All right, so you're charged with driving without a license. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Señor, a usted se le acusa de manejar sin licencia. ¿Entiende esa acusación en su contra?
Sí.
Yes.
Your bond is $1,000 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond.
Tiene una fianza, señor, de $1,000. Se le ordena no incumplir la ley estando en libertad bajo fianza. ¿Piensa que sí va a poder depositar la fianza y salir?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have it?
Señor, ¿quisiera usted renunciar a la audiencia preliminar o quisiera tener la audiencia?
No entiendo.
I don't understand.
Okay, I'm going to set your court date for September the 1st at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
¿Está bien, señor? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Go ahead.
After you speak with your court-appointed attorney, if you choose to waive, they can notify the court.
Muy bien, señor. Entonces, su audiencia preliminar se señala para el 1 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201. Después de hablar con su abogado de oficio, si luego deciden renunciar a esa audiencia, notificará el abogado al tribunal.
Pero la fianza ya está pagada.
But my bond has already been paid, Your Honor.
You may return with the deputy.
Está bien, señor. Se puede retirar con el agente.
All right, who all do you have up? Because I thought everyone else was in another location.
Hola, señor. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Jonathan Duarte.
Who?
Jonathan Duarte. Your Honor, if I'm not mistaken, we took him first.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just making sure.
Okay, so he's good?
Who else do you have?
Right.
Judge, I was just making sure on him. I didn't know he was completed all, so I just want to make sure.
I think we saw him as well. What's your name, sir?
Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Brandon Barragán.
Brandon Barrera. He was number 2, Your Honor, from what I wrote down.
Okay, so we've already seen him as well.
Entonces ya hemos tratado su caso de hoy. Gracias, señor.
And Judge, that's all. We just have Mr. Witzel, WT, DEL.
Okay, you look on the screen, okay?
You're Robert Wetzel.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with entering an automobile. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, no, yes. As a 24. Thank you for listening, Your Honor.
I don't understand what he's saying.
It's some kind of 24, Judge.
Do you understand what you're charged with, sir? Do you want the affidavit read?
I already answered the question.
It is said that on August the 19th, you did commit the offense when you did enter the victim Timothy Lofton's 2017 Chevrolet Camaro bearing Georgia tag number RFJ 7486 without permission. While inside the vehicle, the offender did commit a theft of the victim's work badge and Leonard, don't know that. This incident did occur in Clayton County. Your bond is $15,000. You're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
8462 Westlaw Robert Combat.
Your preliminary hearing is set for October the 12th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You may return with the deputy.
All right, come on, let's go.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's go with the female.
Can you all confirm Araya Hurst is out to bond?
Raya Hurst, yes, ma'am, let me see.
All right. Demario Wright. Did you have a Demario Wright? Because I don't have any paperwork on him.
Yeah, he went back.
Yeah, he went back, Judge.
But so he's here, but they have him. They have him on there, but I don't have his paperwork, so he needs to stand by. Let me email go.
Yes, ma'am. What's the premium? I mean, how's it one?
Yeah, 103.
Yeah. Right.
What was your daughter's name?
Jasmine Brewer.
Same stuff with the R. Yeah, I think I seen it on here. Let me see.
Okay.
right, is that everyone you all have up? And I have 3 more, right? You all have 3 more? What's your name, ma'am?
I'm Gibbs. We're waiting on, you told me to get my daughter, Jasmine Rowley.
Yeah, she's in medical, Judge.
Yeah,
And,
they haven't pulled her up yet.
no, ma'am.
Can we have both of them going at the same time?
Yeah, we could, Judge, but, court that we used, there's another court going on. They're using that court, so we're trying to find another court as we speak. A longer court.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Toles, I think that's everyone. I hope, yeah, I think everyone else is English speaking. So thank you for coming back on. Sorry we missed that.
Okay. No, that's okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Same to you.
I'm making something on this here, just going to classification too. They'll do their thing with that. Okay.
These last 2, that's it? Right into that.
You gotta go to medical. You're looking for another core, you have a long core, because you have to roll into each cell.
Y'all good though, right? Y'all got it now?
Oh, yeah, we're good, yes. We are great. You seen Jet? You seen Jet? They got cut loose now. Remember Jet? Do you remember Jet? Right there. You remember him?
Oh, good. Wait, you still now?
Mm-hmm. It's still there now. Good job, for a lifetime, you know.
All right, can I go eat now?
Yes, sir.
You good? Did I have something good? You want to give me some? Yeah.
Where you go?
He's up here.
You got that inmate working?
It's a period, huh?
He's up here. I was coming, I stopped my eating from my house, you know what I'm saying? I came from my image, I got up here. I said, no, when I told you guys, get to these models, I said, well, let me take it. You know, you're my boy, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all gonna do a secondary cell search and all that?
Yeah, we gotta have inmate worker clean it too. We have to clean it up.
All right, we good.
How many minutes are we doing? 60 something?
Yeah, like 60, 65.
That's all.
Yeah. Then we have another court going on too while we're here.
Yeah.
We gotta work around that.
It's part of the job, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, sir. All right, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, you.
Are we waiting on her? Are we waiting on her?
Yeah, she said stand by. She was talking to you. You're not paying attention?
No, we waiting on my daughter.
Hopefully we can get everything done here shortly. And how old is your daughter again?
She's 23.
Oh, okay. I wonder can, hey, Carl, you call Monica, let me speak with her for a minute. Let me see if I could, let's see exactly what's wrong with her. I might be able to walk her over.
There's something wrong. Wasn't nothing wrong with my daughter when she came in, so something wrong with her.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Well, I'm my mother, I'm gonna worry about that. Because we have altercation, I mean, I don't care, I love her.
That main hope. Hey, you have
I wanna be in front of her.
ROULHAC.
My child.
So let me ask you something. That means that I can't go pick her up and bring her here? That won't work.